Nerve Radio.
Hello and welcome to The Butcher's Show with me, Nat.
Me, Emily.
And Tal. Hello, everybody.
How you doing, Emily?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm quite sad the snow's gone, actually. It's a very miserable
You're sad
grey.
about that?
Thank God, I say.
Yeah, I agree.
As if you two are loving it.
That was
One day.
Yeah, for
One
one
day
day.
of snow is enough for us, isn't it, Nat?
It definitely was. We made a sort of massive fort outside our house, didn't we? To sort of stop
It was pretty
intruders.
epic, wasn't
And you
it?
used every single kitchen utensil possible as well. I've never known anyone to use kitchen utensils whilst in the snow.
A saucepan does make a good brick.
Well, yeah, apparently so.
The larger saucepans, the better the brick we found.
The fort was quite good though. I mean, I couldn't actually get out the house.
It did work, didn't it then?
You did trap me in there,
So we didn't stop intruders, we just stopped people from actually getting out.
we were just generally stuck in the house.
That was
yeah.
a bit of a faux pas, wasn't it, really?
Yeah. Well, at least it's melted now, I say.
Yeah. So what have you been up to now that it's melted? What have you got planned for the rest of the week? Anything?
I'm cycling everywhere and making the most of this no ice thing going on.
Is that a hint of sarcasm I detect in your voice, Tal? Are you actually going to cycle everywhere?
I did cycle here, didn't I?
Did you?
I did, yes.
Well, I wouldn't have known because I was definitely still in bed.
Yeah, the Butcher Show.
was
as an
almost going to have one presenter today because two of them couldn't get out of bed.
It was difficult, wasn't it, Emily? We did struggle.
It just adds to the drama, and that's what
did.
this show is about.
I mean, we like keeping Tal on her feet, you know. Are we going to turn up? Are we not?
On
The
her
listeners,
feet.
are the listeners going to get 3 or 1? That's, you know.
Keeping them on their feet or their wheels in Tal's case this
oh,
week.
absolutely. Yes.
Yes, my 2
yes.
wheels.
So why are we called The Butcher's Show?
Well, we discussed this, didn't we? And
I think we should remain enigmatic to our listeners.
Do you
know?
think?
Yeah, I
it
think
could be
we
because
should.
we love meat.
It could be.
Well, one
It's
of us
not.
is
Or
definitely
we-
vegetarian, but
Or we love killing things.
yes.
That's a bit
That's
dark.
a really good start to the show, isn't it?
Just kind of silenced us both then, really.
Actually, that's probably one of the reasons we called The Butcher's Show. Our house is named on our internet The Butcher's Shop. So we obviously don't sell meat or anything, but that is what you log in with our internet. So
Tell the world, Nat.
oh yeah, if you want it, our password is also
If you want to get onto our internet, then yeah, now you can. basically.
password 1.
And actually, we did have a nice big. Actually, it did look like a butcher shop at one point, didn't it? You know, we go for our
Pre-Halloween, we had a month build-up. You know how Christmas you have your 12 days before, you get your trees up, get your lights. Halloween at the Butcher's Shop.
It was 60 days early, wasn't it? It was definitely 60 days early.
We do pre-plan quite a lot of things.
We
don't
had bacon all over the door.
Oh, yes, knives.
It smelled disgusting, but we love to get into our role.
Tasted delicious though. I just ate my way up the driveway. That was lovely.
Such delight to eat next to.
In the butcher's shop this week, we actually like to watch quite a lot of documentaries and things, don't
One
we?
per day's our rule.
is the
Is
rule.
the rule? Yeah, if you ever come, then that is we will inflict this rule on you as well.
Bring your
Do you want to talk about the
documentary.
latest documentary you've watched, Nat? Although me and Emily haven't, so give us some insight. Give us and the listeners some insight.
Yeah.
Well, it was a dark night and I was in the house on my own. And I started watching this documentary about Mormons. And I don't know, do you guys know what a Mormon is?
Well, when you told me, I thought about Amish people, didn't I? Get them mixed up. I don't know if anyone else does that.
They're not like Amish people, they're Mormons. But
As a start, yep.
a Mormon is basically sort of a strict sort of religious person that believes in God and eternal life and having a partner that they stay with forever and they go to heaven with them. And so basically they remain a virgin up until they get married and things like that. And
Do
this
they live in like communities? Are they like the people who live in these
No,
like,
they're-
Mormon communities?
no, well, they can, but a lot of them tend to just be part of a normal community.
Okay.
But they go to this sort of big party on a beach where they all get to know each other and meet each other. Other young
Where's this beach?
America.
Oh, that American beach.
Fantastic. Let's go.
Shall we make one in Bournemouth?
The Mormon beach, yeah. It could be under the pier, just by Boscombe, I think.
Very
Fantastic place.
un-Mormon with all that heroin and things around there, wouldn't it? It was very, very.
Maybe
un-American.
that's what Boscombe needs. Some
more Mormons. More Mormons, I say. But yeah, so it's about that, and they meet up, go to this beach, and all get to know each other, and basically go and try and find love. And it's just, I don't know whether I'd be able to do that sort of thing, to basically stay completely celibate until you find one
Sounds
person.
quite nice, like, you know, going to find love and all that. But
It is nice, but don't you think it's a bit of pressure? Like, you have got to find one of your partners.
This one person.
Yeah, and when people are there, they're very much pouty and trying to look their best all the time. And it's kind of like out clubbing, but for like a whole sort of week and trying to
going
look
out
really
clubbing
hot.
for your lifelong partner.
Yes,
Imagine that, going to Milk and the pressure.
I'm going to Lava to find the love of my life tonight.
I don't think it would happen, would it, in Lava?
No, definitely not.
Do you think you'd find your long-lost love in Lava somewhere on the floor, curled up,
I think you need the
vomiting
right
on
song,
themselves?
and then the right song comes along and you see that person.
Downstairs lava.
Call Me
Downwards.
Maybe.
Call Me Maybe, or
That
Jake
good.
Bug Lightning Bolt. Shall we play that?
Try and imagine this. Would you find your perfect man or woman to this song? Here we go.
This is Nerve from Bournemouth University.
Tal, I definitely fell in love with you during that song.
I thought so. That you were giving me the eye.
The eyes,
I
I
wasn't
know.
sure what kind
The
of
eyes
eye
of
that
desire,
was.
Tal.
Oh, good. I'm glad it was desire.
So do you think you found your eternal partner to Jake Bug?
Yeah, Tal.
Oh, so we've got some sort of lesbian relationship beginning here in the Nerve studio this morning, afternoon.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Emily.
Oh, I feel a bit uncomfortable here
But
now.
it is, I'm only looking for lifelong friendships, you know. Jake Bug changed my views.
How do you feel about that, Emily?
Severely disappointed, to be
That's
honest with
quite
you.
Mormon though, isn't it, really?
What?
You're going to be a friend, just kissing and that's it, until marriage. And then you can, get jiggy with it.
Tweet us at Nerve Radio if you did find love during that song, or if you've got any other views on the whole.
To be honest with you, if you did find love that quickly during that song, you might need to kind of rethink your general outlook on love.
Yeah. Or do you know what would be awesome if we had any Mormons listening? If they could get in touch.
Do you know who's a Mormon?
I don't. You tell me, Tal.
Mitt Romney.
Really?
From the US elections.
So he has, I imagine, found love.
He has found love and
In
he has
lava.
about 6 children.
So do you think, marriage, there's a lot of divorce nowadays, that sort of thing. Like, people actually take out sort of divorce insurance, I believe,
Somewhere in
now.
America, you can actually marry for a 2-year term.
Really?
Yep. Renew your vows every couple of years.
Just in case it doesn't work
Just in case
out.
it doesn't work out and, you fancy a divorce.
See, I don't like that. I think that if you...
That's very cynical, isn't it?
It is, like, if you're meeting someone and you're going to take those vows, I think that is a lifelong sort of promise to each other that you stay
It's
together.
not like a phone contract.
Exactly. You don't just contact 3 and go, I'll be with you for a year or so and then I'll probably upgrade. You don't do it, do
It's
you?
a bit kind of like, I don't know, transient, isn't it? It's like, we might be together, but actually I might find someone else I fall in love with.
And I
Let's
understand,
not get too ahead of ourselves now.
McFly, did any of you see that video that went viral, he uploaded a few weeks
Tom
ago?
Fletcher is every girl's dream, I think.
Yes.
So I've heard about this, and
He's-
everyone was really hyping about it on Facebook, but I haven't seen
It's
it. Like,
a must watch for
Is it?
everybody. I mean, I guess men hate him. He's just added the pressure times.
He has. There's obviously
Can
a
you
lot.
explain what he did?
Yeah, there's loads of different viral videos going around to do with weddings and things. There's one where this guy's proposing to his wife playing Bruno Mars, and
It's brilliant, that
it's
one.
really
God.
like, here's a
Another
tearjerker.
fun
is
thing
it?
is watching YouTube videos endlessly.
Yes, and these sorts of ideas of different marriage things. And Tom Fletcher comes out with this speech where he's at his wedding and he's basically put different.
Is it his
McFly
wedding?
It's his wedding,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
And he's put different McFly songs together, and he sort of changed the lyrics to make them relevant to his relationship with this girl called, is it G? G or Gina, spelled very strangely.
Yeah. yeah.
G.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I mean, that sounds quite... I'm not sure I'd enjoy that. It sounds very cheesy.
Well,
It's-
weddings are cheesy, I think.
They are.
Yeah, okay. I guess
Lots
so.
of brie, lots of camembert on the
Oh,
buffet and
yeah.
things like that. So very, very cheesy. And we've got a little clip here from the speech.
For those of you who haven't heard.
And this is just where he's about to talk to his other bandmates from McFly. Here we go.
Thanks to my best men, you are the best friends that I know I will ever have. You're more like brothers and sometimes lovers, but we won't tell them about that. We've been together for what feels but I do it all again and again. But we're only getting started, and I know McFly will never end.
That's really, really cute. I know if I was there, I would be crying my eyes out at that.
Yeah, she must be delighted, his wife.
Well, at the
My
end, he
husband
got
can
an
sing.
orchestra out, didn't he?
He got a choir.
A choir,
Yeah, loads of
even.
lucky children able to sing.
McFly fans, shall we call them?
Yeah, to sing at Tom Fletcher's wedding. Could you imagine that if you were asked to sing at his wedding?
Check my diary, see what's happening that day.
Yeah, I think I'm going to One Direction's
Oh, actually,
bar mitzvah.
which one would you choose? Right, okay, you got Harry Styles marrying a complete cougar, and then you've got another one. You know, you got Tom Fletcher, and you're invited to that. Who would you choose?
Harry Styles is in McFly.
No, I said Harry
Oh, I
Styles
see.
from One Direction.
Keep up, come on.
I'm really confused then.
Who would you choose to go to the wedding of? I think I'd have to choose One Direction because Zayn would be there.
Oh, no. Definitely
Not Zayn?
McFly.
Really?
I'd go to McFly's just to, get in with Dougie.
You think?
But
yeah,
McFly are just, they're kind of, they've been around, they're kind of established as actually they're quite cool, I think.
you've got to be loyal to them.
Yeah, definitely.
You feel?
Yeah, One Direction, they're on scene there. No,
But don't you think that they're just all so hot?
McFly?
Well,
Yes.
actually,
Both of them, I think,
of them.
equally.
One Direction, I feel like I might get a restraint order against them, considering we are a lot older than them.
That's true.
Exactly, yeah, you've got to think about that.
Yeah, I did actually meet One Direction once, and I did ask them if they were old enough to be in the club that they were in.
Did you? Oh, was this the time when you were going to dance with them, and then you
You parred them off.
Parred
them
Ron Weasley.
Yes,
That was it, yes.
It was. Yeah. The thing is,
Where
Had
were
to
you
sneak
when
that
this
one in
happened?
there. Come
That
on,
was-
explain.
that was in Camden when I was just on a sort of night out, and I was just walking around, and lo and behold, I saw Zayn walk out of the toilet from One Direction, and I was just like, oh my god.
He went out with someone from X Factor.
Did he?
An older lady.
Into a
Rebecca
bit-
Ferguson, there we
Did
go.
he?
He did, yes.
So they're into their
they're all-
cougars.
yeah.
They
I think
are.
they're in with a chance,
Yeah,
really.
that's what X Factor does to
I
you.
wonder why that is. So maybe we could have a chance with One Direction.
A One Direction wedding, what would they do? They'd have to top Tom Fletcher.
It would be really, really cringy lyrics, wouldn't it? All about being beautiful, even though you're really fat.
Going back to the wedding vows thing, I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure Tom Fletcher, whatever he did, he couldn't go wrong. But I mean, it must be so, nerve-wracking. Doing your vows, doing it to everyone and thinking they're either going to love this or they're going to
It
hate
could go
it.
terribly
It
wrong.
could go wrong. People might
It
not
is a
get
risk,
it.
yeah.
Exactly.
And do you think people... Well, it was 15 minutes long, this particular speech. I don't know how long wedding speeches usually are, but do you think that goes on a bit and, you'd be getting a bit bored, and if you're part of the other side of the family, you'd be like, God, we're going to have this for the next 12 years or 2 years with
Or 2
wedding
years.
insurance.
And kids start getting restless. They start, screaming and asking for being sick, what
Yeah,
as kids
that's
do.
kids
Being
doing
sick
weddings.
everywhere. Too much cake. Actually, on the topic of cake, we did make some... Well,
Oh, I did. I was the taster of these cakes, wasn't I?
yes, we made some
They were
cupcakes.
interesting.
Yeah, they
What
were...
did you put in there as well as the ordinary cake mixture?
Well, there was a bit of prawn in mine.
As a start, you shouldn't put prawn in cakes.
No, I think that's where we were going wrong.
that was an accident.
With the
to be
fish sauce
honest.
as well, that was way too much.
That's
Fish
what
sauce,
that
just no.
It was one of these pre-packs that you just get from the supermarket, and you think they'll be absolutely fine. And
All you need is to add water and you get some cakes.
yes, how does that
How
work?
does that go
How is
wrong?
that physically possible though? Just add water and your cake.
Same
will
as
be
sea
there.
monkeys, some would say.
We probably should have mixed it,
It's
shouldn't
true.
we?
This
Not
is
just
where
add
we
the
went
water.
wrong. We got the two packets mixed up.
Oh, we probably just cooked sea monkeys. Oh God! Actually, have you seen those little?
My stomach does feel a bit odd.
Yeah,
Something
a bit
swimming in there.
swimming.
It's when you go to the toilet. That's when you need to worry. You got a new pet in there. God.
Gotta feed those.
Have you actually seen those little watches you can get with sea monkeys in? And it's like a bubble watch.
Do you know what? Sea monkeys are horny little things.
Really?
Yes, I had sea monkeys once, and they were just, they were living the dream, 20 at a time.
They
So you-
reproduce really quickly, don't they?
They do.
So you literally would have like an ongoing amount of sea monkeys and having to open sort of more of your own aquarium.
Exactly. I wonder which one of our listeners has had sea monkeys.
Yeah, get in touch
Get
if
in
you've had
touch
sea monkeys.
At Nerve Radio, we'll play actually a McFly song
Yes.
to bring Tom Fletcher back to our lovely ears.
Yes.
And that's food for thought while you think about your sea monkeys.
There you go.
Okay.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Nerve Radio.
Welcome back, listeners. We've had a few people contact us about sea monkeys, actually. Gemma Mullen's been on Twitter saying, I've never had sea monkeys, so I feel left out, and thanks for playing McFly.
Yeah, we've also had another tweet actually about the Mormons.
Okay.
We've had a tweet from Dominic Brown, who is a Mormon, and he said that he did find love, and he met a girl in London in a Mormon support group.
Oh, that's a really nice story, and I hope that they're very happy together.
For the rest of their lives.
We've
Also
had
listening to McFly together.
we've had a text in from Wayne Morris, my dad, and he's actually said, yummy sea monkeys. Dad, I'm not sure what that means. Do you like to eat sea monkeys, or is it because we accidentally ate them in the cupcakes, or is it? That's weird.
Explain yourself, Wayne, please.
Yeah, please explain that.
Expand on this sea monkey delicacy of yours.
You know, delicacies and that sort of thing. You know that sort of HSBC advert where they eat the crickets and they're covered in.
I'm not
sort
aware of this.
Hundreds
have you not
and
seen it?
thousands.
It's disgusting. They eat that, and then they eat loads of like these big
HSBC?
eels. Yeah, and he eats it because he feels a bit kind of like the world's local bank towel. Obviously.
Yeah. So if you join HSBC, you do actually have to eat a dried cricket, which
And an eel.
I don't really like the sound of. So I think I'll stick with Nat West. But
NatWest.
you know, what sort of other delicacies are you into? Different sort of things that you'd eat.
What's
you
the
know?
weirdest thing you've eaten?
I've eaten ostrich.
I've
eaten
had an
alligator.
ostrich burger. I've had an ostrich burger, yeah. It was definitely delicious.
It was really, really good.
I'm quite a fan of skull gut or like snails.
Snails. Never had
Really,
snails.
that's one thing I don't know if I could eat. Like, I eat everything, as you two obviously know.
Yeah.
But snails.
Is that where you cut it? Draw the line of
I
snails?
think I might do.
I've had
yeah.
periwinkles, which I think are kind of similar. They're just as slimy. They're in a shell, but they're very small and extremely salty. A snail's salty.
No. As you
What kind of texture are they?
They are a little
Slimy.
bit slimy. It depends. I've tried them in France and Morocco. Morocco, they just gave you a plate of snails and you like do the work yourself. But France, they added, they added the vinegar, they added the wine, gave you some chips on the side.
Do you have to crack them out the shells? Or just
No,
eat
no.
everything?
It's just like you'd find chicken in a stir fry.
Oh, so they weren't actually in the shell when you had them?
In Morocco, they were,
Yeah.
and that kind of creeped me out a bit. But because I'd already tried it in France, I wasn't as scared.
Yeah,
know.
my friends, when we went to Paris, they had snails, or escargot. And
You have to say it like escargot.
you have to have a really sexy accent,
They
don't you?
sound quite nice when you say them like that as well,
Yeah.
actually. Like, quite delicious.
Doesn't that I am escargot?
That was kind of like Yoda as well, wasn't it? Escargot, I must have. Something like that. But, they cover them in sort of garlic and things and garlic butter.
They hide the flavour, you say.
Yes. So it's just like eating a garlic clove.
So would you know if you were that you were eating
Oh
snails?
no! Shall I tell you a story? My dad
Yes.
sort of forced it upon me. We were on a little family holiday in France, and he was like, "Oh, do you want some lunch?" Yes, I was very hungry. Gave me something. Didn't explain what it was. It just looked like chicken. I'd finished it, so there was nothing left in the bowl. He was like, "Do you know what you just had?"
What was it?
It was snail.
And it looked like chicken.
It looked like chicken. It's the
Nice
same.
one, Dad.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
It must look... So when they cook it, does it go white?
Yeah, it's yeah, yes, it does.
Really? Did you not get a bit creeped out by the shell? Did you not think, oh, this chicken's got a shell?
And the little
And little
tentacles.
antennas.
Yeah.
I can poke this chicken's eyes
it
back
was-
into its head.
Yeah, and it was like sitting on a leaf, and you were just like, oh, this chicken is very small.
I was 9. I was on some Disneyland
Yeah.
hype.
It must have looked a lot bigger then.
Actually, do you know, when I was 5, I ate a slug thinking it was a wine gum.
Oh.
You know those orange slugs?
No.
No? Have you not seen
I know the orange
orange
slugs.
Orange slugs, yeah. They look like they look like wine gums.
No, I've never heard of these. Have you heard of the orange slugs?
I've seen orange slugs, but with slugs, what I tend to do is throw salt at them directly as soon as I see
Just-
one.
That's what we talked about, the butcher killing.
Yes, that's what happens in our
why
shop.
we called the butcher
Our shop? A house. I'm actually referring to our house as a shop.
People are never going to come over, you realise, after this show. They're going to be like, no, we might end up as butcher's meat.
They probably
So,
will.
Yeah, you might.
It's pretty much like a scene out of Sweeney Todd as soon as you walk in through the front door.
There's a barber chair.
There's me with my razor.
No, my
My
personal highlight is
friends.
the toilet. It looks like a 6-year-old boy's bedroom.
What, our downstairs toilet?
Yes.
Our downstairs
Yes.
toilet.
I love our downstairs
pretty
toilet.
epic.
It's got rocket ships that glow in the dark, and it's also got little mirrors, which are heart-shaped, which we should have them more sort of like aggressive shape because it's a boy's bedroom.
Like a
shouldn't
star.
Yeah, I reckon a
Very
star.
aggressive.
You know,
like
with
a
its
football.
jagged edges.
we? Yes.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. Back to like the sort of sea monkey talk and things like that. We've actually
We love talking about this.
we do. I've got a text in from Georgia, and she's basically said, I want to invent an ant farm bubble watch. So, you know, you can have these sea monkey watches where you can actually have your sea monkeys on your wrist and walk around with them all day. But she actually
That's
wants
all
to go,
well and good, but don't they need oxygen?
You have a little hole, a very small pinprick hole. At the
I'm
top.
guessing they must have some sort of hole in them so that they can breathe. Unless they just die after a day and then you've just got the momentum on your wrist. But what do you think about that? What do you think about having ants on your arm? I don't think I like the
I
sound
love
of that.
As a kid, I had an ant farm.
On your arm?
No, I'd carry it in my hands
Yeah. like-
everywhere.
Really?
No, that's a lie. I was only allowed in the garden.
With it?
Yeah.
My friend used to have an ant farm and they used to actually have it on their mantelpiece in their lounge right above the fire.
So the whole family was happy with the situation.
Everybody was like, oh yeah, that's our ants there on the fire.
Proud and loud.
But I don't think
Here,
I like
here are the ants.
would you like to have ants just
It's like, you know,
walking around?
like usually in like a fireplace you have like a picture of your kids or like, you know, the family.
Some graduation photos.
Some graduation photo. No, here are the ants.
Here are the,
The
plants we
family
collected
ants.
ourselves from the
Yeah,
garden.
Absolutely.
If you want to come and look at the kids here on the mantelpiece.
The kids, yeah.
So we start our show every day. Well, no, sorry, every Wednesday, every fortnight at 12. It's a bit early, isn't it? 12. It's a bit.
For you two, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
We struggled. We really
Like we
did
said earlier.
struggle.
Well, I thought it was going to be a one-man show today.
Yeah. Well, I got a text about 11:30 saying get in for 11:45, and I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
In fairness, I have a
Shaking
slight
your boots.
excuse considering I got locked out last night by you.
What happened?
When I got back from work at about 4 a.m, went to open the door and you put the latch across, so I was just outside for about half an hour. Really? Screaming your names, screaming. in
Nothing
the
wakes
cold
me up, as you
by
know.
myself. Yeah.
Nothing.
And who did you wake up then? Tal, I imagine.
I got woken up by Rebecca, who was at our house as well.
Oh, okay. So the guest
The
actually. woke up.
guest, not
The
the
guest let me in, so you know.
The
that's
guest
nice.
that will
she
be
was like,
butchered
someone
tonight.
shouting at the door.
Yeah, she wasn't there this morning. I dread to think where she is now.
She's in the pie. She's in the pie.
That's what I had for breakfast.
Oh, it's a bit morbid, isn't it? This show.
Okay, on to a song, I think, while we
lighter note.
ponder lighter
Yeah.
things.
Yes.
Oh, I just wanna take you anywhere that you.
I dreamed a dream time gone by, when hope was high, life worth living. I dreamed that love would never die. I dreamed that God would be forgiving. But the tigers come at night.
That was not Susan Boyle. That was the amazing Anne Hathaway in Les Miserables, which we went to see last week, didn't we?
I'm still welling up a bit here.
It was amazing.
It was just incredible.
Yeah, so we're saying.
It was a weeping session.
Yeah, it really was. It's literally like streams of tears flowing down the aisleways in this cinema.
It was like a canal in the middle, wasn't
It
it?
was. We had to row out at the end.
They had buckets to catch all the water.
I thought I was seeing. Is it called The Impossible? Is it The Impossible?
Oh, but Thailand, about the.
Yeah, I thought it was about. I thought we were
I
actually the
refuse.
tsunami.
Yeah.
But yeah, we saw that, and we recommend, obviously, as students listening, it's Orange Wednesdays today. Go and see Les Miserables. It is.
If you haven't seen
epic.
it, get a box of tissues and just go to the cinema.
Just go, and it is about 3 hours long, isn't it? But it's so
Don't
worth
wear
it.
makeup. Do not wear makeup.
no.
Don't go on a first date there. Definitely don't go on a first date
No.
there.
No.
But what was obviously we won't say any spoilers of it, but Anne Hathaway's performance is incredible.
I think the girls generally were quite good. Her and Amanda Seyfried,
I say. Whatever. She was so good.
They were both amazing. They were fantastic. The boys, not so much.
Are you not a fan of the boys?
I'm not. Russell Crowe.
I didn't like
He let
Russell
you down,
Russell
didn't
Crowe,
he?
But he really let me down.
He did.
Was it his vocals or his
His-
acting or what?
It's a bit of both, actually. Well, because the thing with the name is that you have to remember there's not so much speak. It is all singing. So like all your acting is through singing.
Which a lot of people, it puts them off. A lot of people are like, I won't watch it. I don't like
does,
musicals.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like Hairspray. I'm like, no,
No, absolutely.
it's a completely different
It is fantastic.
setup.
Definitely.
But it's just like me talking to you like this.
very dramatically.
Why don't we do it for the rest of the show?
I think that's
Famous
great.
style.
I think I would like to go and see Les Mis again tonight.
I think we should go 2 for 1 Wednesdays.
I will get the text up.
Thank you, Orange.
There we go, Russell Crowe. That is how it's done.
That's how it's done.
If
There is a
only we were
bit.
Russell Crowe.
There is a little bit in Les Mis that I did laugh at, which I shouldn't have laughed
What
at.
bits were there?
I know exactly the bit
You know,
mean.
it's the bit
Oh,
where
I know which one you mean, yeah.
it's a
For
sewer
everyone who
scene.
hasn't seen.
It is a sewer scene.
There is a sewer scene.
And it is an emotional scene, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
not. It's not meant to
He's
be funny.
carrying someone who's Marius.
It's
who's
tragic.
dying. He's just been shot, and he's carrying him behind on his back through the sewers,
Yeah, and it's
trying to get him into life. And
it's really, really, really upsetting scene. But then he turns to the camera, and he's completely covered in poo, apart from his eyes and his teeth.
which are really white.
Really white.
It's like, yeah, exactly.
It's like pearl drops all over
It could
him.
be an
17th century
advert for
France.
pearl
You're not
drops,
going to
isn't
have
it,
great
really?
teeth, are you? Really?
You're not, and he does have amazing teeth, like this Colgate advert. You just imagine this like ting, like coming off one of his teeth.
Literally is.
But you know that bit of the film, even though it wasn't meant to be funny,
We
it
laughed.
is a bit light-hearted in
Yeah.
that bit, isn't it?
But I think you
the
need
makeup's
that.
part. Yeah, no, you do actually. Otherwise, you would probably go home and
Kill
shoot the
yourself.
left side. Yeah.
You need a poo scene in a depressing movie like
I
that.
think we all went to Lava, didn't we, afterwards, and we were all sort of feeling like, oh, we can't get too drunk because we'll just cry. That's why I just didn't drink at all.
And you're doing Dry January.
Exactly. It's been great, our first show. We hope that you've all enjoyed
Thank
it.
you for listening.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks for
And we'll
tuning
be
in,
back
everyone.
again in a fortnight's time.
To make sure you're back, ready, prepared for the butcher shop.
And don't forget your bacon.
Yep.
See you in 2 weeks.
Ta-ta.
So